I am so nervous. Without a doubt, the biggest tournament of my life. I know I keep saying that, but it is. And I'm just nervous putting the boat in the water. But I think I got a decent game plan. I'm fishing a rising tide today. And the low tide on tournament day is 10:41. So I've got everything lined up timeline wise. So I know right now it's 5:55 a.m., but it's actually closer to 6 o'clock. I mean, closer to 10 o'clock on tournament day. So I've got all this stuff lined up. I got my little handy notebook here. I've got notes in. So I can remember when the tides are. I got tide apps on my phone. My Garmin has a tide, tells me the tides. So I've done all the prep work I could do for this tournament. Now I need to go out here and see if I can catch them. So I have a little bit of experience out here. I got a few waypoints I'm going to check first thing. And basically just see if I can catch them on a high tide a certain way. Later on the day when the tide gets, or I'll see if I can catch them on a rising tide first thing this morning. Tide gets up, see if I can catch them on a slack tide. And when it starts falling, see if I can catch them on a falling tide. So we're gonna have a long day today, really long day. So I don't know, we'll see. God knows, I hope I can find some fish. Strong fish, boys. I mean, a strong fish. My gosh. A little bigger than I thought. Had it hooked under the chin. I mean, I've been out here just 15 minutes. Whew, catching one first day of practice really helps me calm down. I mean, like, yeah, I know how to do this, just got to do it. Just because you're fishing this major tournament doesn't mean that you forgot how to fish, right? That's a solid fish, boys, especially for the Tidal River. I mean, that's a quality fish, I think. Belly's sunken in like he ain't been eating. That's, I would say this is 2.5 pounder, 2 3/4 pound, 2 3/4 pounds. Nice fish. We're at the very, very, very bottom of the low tide. And I'm trying to make notes on things so I won't forget, so I'll be able to go back to the hotel tonight. I know this seems really stupid and maybe even a little archaic, but I just want to remember that, hey, low tide crankbait off of, like, it's a rock pile behind me. So I'm gonna make a little note here so I can remember. Let me see what time it is. It's 6:19, 6:18 a.m. I'm gonna call that fish 2.75 on a crankbait. Another 2-pounder. On the same bank, a little bit further down. He was right up there on top of that bank. I always like to look at my fish and see if there's anything about him that it can key me in on something. There's nothing down his throat. Belly is not tight, like he ain't been eaten. Red on his tail. It's a pretty fish, and these fish are strong. This is a 2-pounder, but it took me a second to, you know, he fought hard. This is a keeper for this tournament because there's a 12-inch minimum. Well, I think the law just changed here from 15 to 12. So yeah, that's a 13-incher. So I'm going to keep in this tournament. But this is a random fish. Like I was about to pull my crankbait out of the water, and he hit it kind of right here at the boat. And so I'm seeing some fish kind of cruise off the bank here in the deeper water, like 4 foot of water. That was the first one I caught doing it. I wasn't even trying to catch him, it just kind of randomly hit it. Come on. I won't playing him like I needed to be playing him. Did he come off? That was about a 2.25 pounder. We'll call it a 2-pounder. I just randomly threw it on the backside of this dock. Unless there's something under the water I don't see. It's like I just threw it right on top of his head while he was swimming. Well, that's cool. That's a new spot, dude. And I got bit on a rising tide. It's cool. Dude, can you fish offshore on the Potomac? Because I just did. Oh. Damn, get me with these treble hooks if I ain't carrying. There is something down there in like 8 foot of water. It's not really a point, but I've been trying to fish shallow, and I think we're still kind of on that low tide and it's rising, and I think they pulled off the bank. It's blowing. And I think they pulled off the bank, and there's something down there. I don't know if it was grass or what. I gotta go mark it again. This ain't no giant. But it's a chunky 1.5 pounds. Yeah, there's something down there, like 8 foot of water. I don't know if it's a grass patch or a brush pile. It didn't feel like a brush pile. Anyway, that's cool. I'm gonna put it in the notebook. Yeah, it's a fun bite. All right, fellas, we're gonna call that one a day. Wasn't a terrible first day. Wasn't bad. Caught some fish. I caught one that I would consider a real tournament quality fish. I got some new waypoints. Checked some old spots that still had some fish on them. Caught one kind of offshore out of a brush pile. So it wasn't bad. It was not a bad day at all. I mean, all things considering. It's blowing. I'm tired of fighting the wind. And these conditions aren't anything like it's going to be on Thursday. Of course, the weather could always change. But I'm okay with how things are right now. We'll get back to the hotel, put it back on the trailer, and see what happens tomorrow. I didn't even set the hook on that fish, and I got guys all around me looking at me. Apparently this is a very popular spot. But put it in the notebook. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 6:21 a.m.
And again, I know this looks stupid. But I'm really trying to find the best bite windows, the best areas. Better. It's two off of that wall. At completely low tide, but this is a popular area. There's two boats in here. There's another boat putting in there. For anybody that's local here, you probably know exactly where I am. Barely got it. I didn't even set the hook on these fish and they're getting it. Another 2-pounder. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 6:24 a.m.
3 minutes later. About time. I've been trying to catch one. A worm for a good long time. 2 days now. The first one. Barely ate it. And I'm like, no, I just flipped it off the edge of the boat. But it's another 1 3/4 pound fish. Caught that one on a trick worm. Man, I just caught this fish out of 10 foot of water. Some random dink. Ain't no size to him though, he's too small. Some random fish. A bunch of pylons under the water. Yeah. these will go. A long way. A long way. That's a 3 1/4 pound fish. Dude. Hold on, let me put my poles down. Oh my God. That's fun. That is fun. Fun. I guess I just hit the right patch of grass, and that's really good. It's completely high tide now. And I was able to get bit on a completely high tide. I generally struggle fishing when it's high tide. And I just threw that out there, let it sink to the bottom, and picked up on it. And it was there. That's 2. That is 2 out of the grass. And I'm basically in the same area, and it is completely high tide, slack. There's some movement on the water because the wind's blowing into here. There's so much grass, it's really hard to break down. You need days and days and days, even weeks to break down all this grass and figure out where's the hot spots in it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I just caught 2 out of this one little 25-yard stretch. There's got to be something to this. The wheels are turning. You know what I'm saying? The wheels are turning. Over there. Dude, I have been fishing and fishing and fishing all morning. It's like 9:30 or something now. It's my first bite of the day. It's got me a little concerned. I've been fishing a lot of hard cover this morning, and I fished my best juice just practicing on it, trying to check it. And did not get bit. So today was terrible. I caught 1 fish all day. 1. And you know, a lot of times when you have a rough practice, sometimes you can say, oh well, at least you eliminated some water. Not really, because I fished some of my stuff that's I like, stuff that's good, just to check it one last time, and I didn't get bit. So pretty tough day. I have no idea what's up with the day. I felt like I didn't fish that good either. I felt like I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off. I felt like I was very flustered because I couldn't get bit, you know? It was frustrating. And so it affected how I was fishing. So I don't know what happened today. All I do know is I have 1 more day to figure this thing out. And I don't know what I want to do tomorrow. I'm running low on tackle, and there's not a tackle shop within an hour from this place. So I need to run to Bass Pro because I'm very, very, very low on the worms that I'm catching them in on the grass. So I don't know. Put it on the trailer, try to figure it out again tomorrow. I've got to do a better job tomorrow at not getting flustered, even if I don't get bit. I don't know. See what happens. All right. Just kind of using this chatterbait as a search bait this morning. Man, he got it good. Ugh. Way down in there. So just trying to do some searching, find some fish. Not a big one, but I can tell you this is where I'm going to start tomorrow morning, no matter what. That helps my confidence a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this is the same, very, very close to this spot where 2 days ago I came in this little grass patch and I caught two pretty quickly. This is roughly the same spot. So there has to be a concentration of fish right here, which is good to know. So I don't want to stick too many fish day before a tournament. So I'm actually not going to throw on this anymore. We gotta go. God, I just caught that fish in front of two people, man. 4 people, really, you count co-anglers. I mean, it came up and jumped. I was trying to keep it down, and it came up and jumped right when that boat was coming by. All right. Well, I have found a concentration of fish. Period. End of story. It's in there good. Fish is pushing 3 pounds. Fish was 3 pounds. Okay, so we're done with practice. Back in the room, I've got everything rigged up, and it's still early. It's very early. It's 2:20. Not terrible overall. Certainly not great. We found some fish. We lost some fish. We caught some fish. We didn't catch some fish. And when I say we lost some fish, I mean, when I found some fish when I first got here and then went back and checked it, they weren't there anymore. So there's a whole lot going on, but I'm going to show you this notebook. I'm kind of, I don't know if this is going to, what I really want to do is practice smarter, not harder this week, right? And whenever you're, I don't fish a lot of tidal water. I fish the James River a couple of times a year, maybe. And then the Potomac, this is the second time I've been here in 3 years. So other than that, I don't fish any tidal water. And so it's a different animal. So what I did was I documented over the course of 4 days, every bite that I got, every fish that I caught, I documented it. So this was our from 6/19 day 1 practice. Like I say, I documented every single time I got bit: 6:18, 7:24, 7:57, 8:48, 9:45, 11:40. And then what I did the same thing for every day. Same thing, there's no 1 bite that day. And then I only fished for a few hours this morning and I only caught 3. But every time after I documented it, I made this chart here with the tides, and I'm able to see exactly where at in the tide did I get bit. So my whole purpose of this was I wanted to make sure that I was at the right place at the right time based on where the tide is going to be. And as you can see, the majority of my bites over the course of a few days here have come at the bottom and rising. You can see that we were able to catch one, actually 3 at a high tide, 1 here, and then a couple of here. So I'm able to get bit some on high tides, but the majority of the damage is done here, bottom, rising. And then I'm able to, this is from today, 622, the circles. So this is from today. This right here, I need to try to take advantage of. But if something happens and I'm tides, falling all the way down and I haven't gotten bit yet, I just need to keep in mind that, hey, I did a lot of damage at when that tide started coming back up, and then I was even able to get bit a few times here at high tide. And so what I did, you can see, I built this. This is tomorrow's, the first day of the tournament. This is the tide chart. Okay, so high tide is at 4:42. Okay, we're going to blast off at 6:30. They're having some launch issues, so we should be blasting off at 6, but they're actually starting the tournament at 6:30, even though the sun rises at like 5:20 or something now. And so then I have, our low tide is at 10:41. This right here is where I've been doing my damage. So from 10:41-ish, 10:30-ish on up, so I don't know, about 12 o'clock or so is where I did most of my damage if we look back at our chart here. Okay, that's where I did my damage. Okay, so 10:41, that's low tide. So even if I haven't done anything up to this point, I need to know and remember that, hey, you can still make it happen here. All right, I don't know when I'm going to weigh in yet. I haven't got the text. I'm assuming I will weigh in. I don't know. It could be anywhere from 2:30 to 4:30 from what I've seen. Based on the flights, I don't know how many boats yet. I think it's going to be, I know it's at least 182 because 182 is the boat that's going to win the reel, he said in the pre-tournament notes. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows when I'm going to weigh in? I have a lot going through my mind. This is a biggest tournament I've ever fished. It's the most prestigious tournament I've ever fished, in my opinion. Definitely as a boater. I fished a couple of Bass Nation events as a co-angler, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago. But this is definitely the most prestigious event I've ever been in. And plus the entry fee is $1,700, so it's a lot of money. In tournament bass fishing, there's always monkey wrenches thrown in. Perfect example of that is fixing a thunderstorm outside. So now you got to wonder what kind of, what's that going to do to the water conditions tomorrow? Is it going to muddy things up or what? I did find that I was only able to get bit around cleaner water. And so who knows? We're going to go out there. We're going to fish hard as I can. We're going to do our very best. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I do love this. I love the preparation for this. I mean, I love this whole notebook thing. I thought it was a decent idea to try to give myself an idea of what's going on and what I need to do and where I need to be. I love playing that chess game, and it's definitely a chess game out here. So yeah, that's it. One final thing, like half the tackle warehouse pro circuit is apparently here. Like they just had an event at the James River, which is 2 hours south of here. So it made sense for a lot of them to come up and fish this too. So there's some stout competition. If you ever want to see where you are as an angler, you should probably come fish one of these things and see how you stack up against the pros. That's what's going to happen to me tomorrow and Friday for sure. Top 25 make the cut on Saturday. I'm not anticipating making that, but I'm going to fish it just as hard as anybody else here. And see how it shakes out. Appreciate you guys watching. I hope maybe if you're trying to figure out the Potomac River, hopefully you've seen a little bit of how to maybe break it down a little bit. And hopefully I can come back here in a couple of days with a tournament video, and I end up doing okay in the tournament. Again, appreciate you watching. See you on the next one.